Good morning. What you are about to see play out in the 50th District in San Diego County is a battle between the politicians and the people. It is a clear distinction of politicians who've been on the take, politicians that seek position, politicians who give up the fight and are quitting on Californians. I launched my campaign for the 50th District because the residents of our communities deserve a congressman who's going to fight for them. Too many Californians are fleeing the state of California because they don't see anyone putting up a fight against democratic socialism. They are disappointed with politicians that go to Washington and enjoy the lifestyle, some breaking the law in enjoying the lifestyle, and they do absolutely nothing, perhaps but seek time on cable news shows. Today, a career politician worth $400 million thinks that he can buy the 50th congressional seat. This is a politician who epitomizes what is wrong with career politicians. He spent 20 years in DC, he neglected his constituents, and then he lost the support of his district and he failed to put up a fight. Because Darrell Issa quit on his constituents, the Republicans lost not only his seat, but they lost other seats because Democrats knew, hey, there's no real fight here. San Diegans know that I am a fighter. They know that I will fight the hard fights because the hard fights sometimes are the most important fights to fight. I ask San Diegans for their support, and I pledge this: I will never quit on you. I will never abandon you. I will never neglect you. I will never take the easy road. I will earn your support. I won't try to buy it. Today you will hear from a few of the constituents of the 49th Congressional District who offer a warning that Darrell Issa is a quitter. He quit his own congressional seat at a time when the party needed him to fight. His decision to quit, to pull the plug, to not put up a fight cost us not only his seat but more seats throughout the state. He undercut the Republican nominee in his district by declaring her dead on arrival on election day before people even went to the polls. And he quit on our president. One of the most remarkable periods that I ever witnessed was the confirmation hearings of Brett Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh was unfairly smeared by the Democrats. But he marched into that committee room and he fought. And he made his case for a position on the Supreme Court that he deserved and that all Americans needed him to take. Brett Kavanaugh is no quitter. He stood up to the Senate Democrats. He stood with our president. We don't need quitters, we need fighters. And that's what I am, a fighter who will help us take back this great state of California, and I will be a fighter on Capitol Hill on the issues that matter to all of our communities. With that, I will invite up Bill Scheffler, a resident of the 49th Congressional District.
Thank you, Carl. What we need in the 50th District is a fighter, not a quitter. Not someone who walks away and hides in their office and then leaves office. I've known Carl for 15 years and worked with him on pension reform in San Diego, Ventura, Stockton, San Bernardino, and with the single objective of saving taxpayers' money and protecting the individuals that are already retired in those underfunded systems. Carl's also taken up the fight against enormous odds to roll back the gas tax, one of the most regressive taxes that we have in this state, to protect those individuals that are struggling financially. He took it all the way to the finish line. He's the man that the 50th should look to take all of their issues and all of their concerns to Congress and effectively talk about them and make them happen.
Thank you, Bill. Bill Scheffler lives in Encinitas. Carlsbad. Living in Del Mar, Michael Lucas.
Hi, I used to actually support Darrell Issa. And so I can actually stand here today and say I was proud of him up to a moment until he did quit. I'm an entrepreneur myself, been in business over 30 years, and you need to fight. It's in your genes to fight. This man here is someone that when I came down here over a decade ago, learned about what he did in San Diego, how he helped the pension reform, got to know him a little better, and this is the guy that I've always wanted in office. This is the man that can stand up for San Diego, stand up for California, and actually support our president, which Darrell didn't do in the beginning. He can say it now because he wants his support, but this is the man that will protect our borders, help with healthcare costs, help with all the other issues we got going on in business so we can keep corporations here and have not fleeing here to Texas and elsewhere. Let's not give up. Let's stand behind someone who can fight for us, because this is the man, and he will do it.
I think if you take a look at the data on this race, I think the media is missing what the real story is. I am proud of the fact that in all of the polling that has been done on this race thus far, both public and private, and I challenge, we're Survey USA, UT, and Channel 10, challenge you to do a poll, because you will see that my candidacy has inspired the grassroots in the 50th District, because they know I'm a fighter, not a quitter, and that's why I am the Republican frontrunner to save the seat. When we talk about unity, the politicians in the establishment love throwing that term around, but they forget the most important people to unite are the citizens and the voters and the grassroots. And we have legions of grassroots supporters. That's why we are the #1 Republican candidate in the 50th, including the entire field and the incumbent. And I'm proud of the fact that while I don't have $400 million I can tap, we've had thousands of contributors, grassroots contributors, support my campaign, breaking records for both Democrats and Republicans in the first 24 and 72 hours, the first 25 days. And I believe you will be impressed by what we've been able to achieve in terms of our grassroots financial support to get our message out. And the average contribution being less than $75, but from 10,000 plus donors and counting. That's something the media doesn't want to report, but it's time that you do your research on this race, and it's very important that you cover it fairly and accurately. With that, I'll entertain any questions.
Can you speak about dividing the vote, the concern over so many Republicans running, dividing the vote in the district?
Well, I'm not worried about dividing the vote, because I believe that I will be able to get the message out. I'm the front runner right now. All these other people are Johnny-come-lately. They're trying to get a title. I don't need a title. I walked away from an enjoyable job on radio and as chair of Reform California. I'm not seeking a title. I'm seeking to fight, because nobody has fought up to this point. All we've seen are these career politicians like Mr. Issa quit on us and then come back and say, oh, you're my third choice. I quit on my own district. I quit on the president. The Democrats scared me, so I ran away with my tail between my legs. And now you're my third choice. Oh, how lucky are we in the 50th that we're the third choice for a quitter? I would be very worried that he's going to quit on us. I will never quit. Everyone knows that I will take on the battles. The battles that are the hardest to fight are sometimes the most important battles to fight. And so I don't worry about splitting the vote, because right now I'm in the runoff according to all the polls. Not one poll has come out. Not one poll. NRCC, RNC, CLF, independent groups, campaigns. Mr. Issa could show you a poll, I'm sure, if he did one. And I will tell you right now, I'm not worried about splitting the vote, because we're going to work hard to keep our position. Right now, I am the Republican going into the runoff. I will defeat the Democrat Socialist in November.